Have you ever heard of the portion of scripture that says, spare the rod, spoil the child? I would like you to please let me know in the comment section, what do you think that statement means? Does that statement mean barbarism? Does it mean you should be brutal? I don't know what you think, but please just let me know what you think that statement means in the comment section. I'll be happy to read your messages. Okay, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Elma here, and this is our space for inspiration. So today, my heart is heavy because I want to share something really terrible that happened with you all. I want to share with you all. Okay, so the other day the internet was buzzing, Facebook was buzzing, and I was like, what is happening here? Let me go on there and see what was happening. And then boom, Cameroon was on the map. Hooray. But unfortunately not for something good, but for something really bad. Okay, so apparently there's this lady in Cameroon. So the first thing I saw in the video was, okay, this lady, she was carrying a child in her hand and she was being jeered by an angry crowd of people throwing insults at her, and they were shouting and insulting and saying all sorts of things to her. But she was just walking towards a police van, and then she got into the van. So when I saw the video, I was a bit confused because I didn't know what was happening. So it was later that I went and I'm like, okay, let me really get the information and see what was happening here. Like, why is the crowd jeering at this woman? Why is she crying and all those kind of things? So now I got to know that this lady, okay, apparently this lady has a 3-year-old daughter. So her daughter came back from school on that day. Okay, let me say this, okay? Cameroon is in a situation where we have an unrest. I refer to it as an unrest in our country. For the past 5 years, there have been unrest, and as a result of that, many people have lost their lives. There's been a lot. I don't want to really go into the details of those things, but Cameroon has been having some really unrest. Things are not fine like that in my country. So as a result of that thing, schools were affected. At the time, it was a problem if you are found going to school. Children were being kidnapped, and then some were taken into the bushes if they found you going to school. So mind you, it had been a long time, and as a result of that, many children dropped out of school. Many children stopped taking school seriously. Many children go to school being afraid, not knowing what to expect. Sometimes they even go to school without wearing uniforms because they're not sure of what is going to happen. So as a result of that, a lot of people or a lot of children lost interest in going to school. Many people have gone to, like, you see, many children prefer now to do business. It came to a point where you even ask children to go to school and they'll be like, no, I don't want to go to school because I've seen my friends lose their lives for going to school. I don't want to go to school because I want to do business. And you see those kind of things. The interest in school has kind of reduced. It's not like before. Like before in Cameroon, when it's National Day, everyone comes out, schools come and march and all those kind of good stuff. But these days, National Day even passed in my country and I didn't even remember that it was National Day. I didn't even feel like it was National Day because in our country, every 11th of February is Youth Day. And then we also have National Day on the 1st of May, like National Day of Independence. So on those days, we go out and march. And then, it was, as kids, we always looked forward to doing those things. We always looked forward to going out with our friends. It was our guarantee to meet our friends. On the day, our parents would give us money. We could buy things. We could eat. We could buy yogurt, drinks, buy nice things. That was how we saw National Day and Youth Day. It was the day of it was our day to celebrate. We go and march according to schools. But these days, you hardly see those things because it's not safe anymore. People are afraid to go to school. So I brought this narrative because I want you all to understand where I'm coming from and where I want to go to with the story. So this under those kinds of circumstances, it becomes difficult for people to want to go to school because you're afraid. You're not sure of what is going to happen. There was a time when children were not even sure that they were going to write the general certificate of education. So you feel like, I'm going to school, it's not safe for me to go, I'm afraid, and all those kinds of things creep in. Now, why I brought that story is because this child came back from school and she got beaten by her mother. Now, according to neighbors around, they've been saying that this woman, on a daily, she beats up her child like that. So she beats this child up. When the child came from school, apparently the child failed an exam, or the child didn't do well in school. So the mother felt like, okay, the only way I can discipline this child is to beat this child up. And this is the mentality that I want, I don't know, with these younger generations who are coming up and having our own kids. I want us to know something. corporal punishment is not the only way to discipline a child. Actually, children become immune to those things. If you beat up a child a lot, it gets to a point where the child starts becoming strong in it and doesn't even feel the beating anymore. Yes, that is how it is. In Cameroon, I remember when we were in secondary school, it got to a point where teachers used to beat us and we don't feel it anymore. You just put your hands and then they beat you up and then you go. Yeah, corporal punishment is not the only way. Why do parents feel like you have to beat up a child, like really, really beat up a child to a point where some parents even injure their children? Sometimes you even find a child bleeding and you say, my parent beat me up. Do you think that that's the only way to discipline a child? That's why I started by asking the question in this video, that what do you understand by the statement spare the rod and spoil the child? Does it mean brutality on kids, for that matter? How old is a 3-year, like a 3-year-old child is a child who is very tender. What level of beating are you giving that kind of child? She's too small. So apparently her mother beat her up so bad that the child passed away. How sad can it be? Like, when I watched the video, I was heartbroken. I felt so bad about that thing, because a woman who has carried a child in her womb for 9 months, you've mended the child, and then you've brought her up until she's 3 years old. You take your own hands and then you end the thing that you brought to this life. For God's sake. Even if it was a mistake, like, I know it was a mistake. No woman intentionally wants to, like, make her child, pass away. But it shows that the level of beating that the woman must have given the child, for the child to enable that child pass away, it means that it must have been something terrible. I've seen parents beat their children. There's one lady, she was our neighbor. She used to beat her child and fling the child away. Just to show you that, I don't know what these parents think. That is why sometimes, not even sometimes, education is very, very important. I'm not saying that educated parents do not beat up their children, but at least there's a limit. You know when to stop. You won't just go all out and brutalize a child to the point where the child loses their life. I watched that video and I was heartbroken. Like a mother, after taking care of your child for 9 months, you lose a child in one day because of anger. Because the child failed an exam, and so what? Is everybody supposed to pass an exam? If the child failed an exam, why don't you sit the child down and teach the child so that the child can do better next time? You think every child goes to school with the intention of wanting to fail? It just so happened that the child failed an exam. The child is not the first in the world, for God's sake, to fail an exam. And the child is definitely not going to be the last child to fail an exam. Why would you beat up a child to that level for failing an exam? Like, I felt so bad watching that video. And this lady, she was crying. In her pain, she was saying, God, please give me another chance. Give my child back. Let me fix it. No, you cannot fix it. The child is gone. The child is gone. So you could have thought about that before beating the child. You should know as a parent when to stop. She said, I'm sorry. I beat her up and she was fine. I didn't know that she was going to pass away. It's already done. The deed is done. They made her carry the child. They told her that you will carry this child, you will put the child in the mortuary, and you will bury this child yourself, and you will go to jail for the thing. The angry mob was even ready to end the woman's life for her to join the child. But thank God that the police intervened and they took her away. If not, that would have been hearing stories of the mother and the child passing away on the same day. Why do parents do this kind of things? I want parents to learn from these things. Like, you don't only have to beat. There are many ways to skin a cat. You don't have to only beat up a child. All the kind of brutality. I don't know why some people still have that archaic mindset that the only way to discipline a child is to beat a child. What happened to dialogue? What happened to sitting down the child to teach the child? How old is a 3-year-old child? For God's sake, my heart is so broken. Watching that video, I felt the pain of that mother, but there's no way you can bring that child back. It's done, it's done. Even if you say, I'm sorry, and cry, it's done, she's gone. You have lost your 9 months. All because of what? Exam. What is an exam that the child will fail, you beat her up like that? Sit her down, teach her. Even if she has your genes, when you were like the child, were you good in school? Even if you were good in school and the child is slow, every child picks up at their own time. There's a time when children are able to pick up. Some children pick up earlier in their younger years. Some people pick up later. Not everyone is smart in school. Not everyone is brilliant. It's not a basis for you to do that kind of thing to a child. So this is a lesson for us who are still upcoming. Future parents and parents already. Learn to discipline your children in different ways. There are many ways to discipline a child. You don't have to beat the child up. You can just sit the child down and talk to them nicely. Teach the child. The child will learn. So I don't know. I just hope that we have learned from this. This is a wake-up call for those parents who are still doing those things to their children. Listen and learn from this mistake. You don't know that unfortunately she had been beating that child all that day. She did not know that that was the last day, and that was the day that he had met her, that the child's life had to end. So I'm already getting so emotional in this video. I better end this video here. So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like. If you like my content, please give me a like, okay? Share me out so that other people can enjoy the beauty of my content, and let me know what you think. Like I said, please communicate with me in the comment section. Does the Bible mean spare the rod and spoil the child? Does it necessarily mean you have to beat the child, you have to brutalize the child, you have to do all those kind of things to the child? Please let me know what you think in the comment section about this story. I'm going to end here now. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share me out so that your friends can see my video. Until next time, bye.